Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Let's split the deck, cut the check, I heard. I know that's right. Please do. Oh, you hear that pop? Cut the check is what I heard. Spirit, you have no argument with me there. All right, hope you're doing well today. Sorry, I got a little distracted by the prophecy of prosperity on the, I was about to say on the horizon. My tongue got seized in the present. It is so, and so it is. All right, happy Tuesday. Hope you are having an amazing day. That's too many to start. Oh. All right, let's see what we got by way of a message on today. Too many. Come on, Spirit. Let's not get crazy out the gate. Can we keep it cute just to start? Okay. Here we go, here we go. All right, we got the Nine of Cups, the Empress, and the Seven of Swords. Okay. Ooh, my tummy is rumbling. I am a little hungry, but not that hungry. All right, somebody is hungry, somebody is greedy. That's what that's about. Somebody is still, I'm hearing their eyes are still bigger than their stomach, which ultimately is just being greedy, wanting to overindulge, which is the lower vibration of this Nine of Cups here with this Seven of Swords. Now the Empress is sandwiched in the middle, because perhaps she's the object of the like she's the centric, what do you call it? You know what I'm trying to say. She is the substance. If there is substance abuse by way of overindulgence, and, you know, some intentions for deception, she is the topic. You know, she's the center of attention. Okay, there we go. Center of attention. Thank you. Got it. All right, so let's see what else we got here, because oh, wow. Wow, babe. The devil. So we already know that, as I said, this ain't no good energy that's trying to surround her, literally trying to engulf her. But what we know about the Seven of Swords is that, as I always like to point out, that it's usually, yeah, and here's the defeat card, as I was about to say. Oh, this is more than I bargained for, too. The Seven of Swords usually is, it thinks it's getting away with something, but it usually isn't. He, she, it, whatever that is. I'm like so bored, you know, like, sorry for my lackluster, because it's like, aren't we tired of this? Apparently not. You know, apparently not, which is why it persists. Somebody's not tired of ultimately being defeated at every turn. For some reason, there's still this, at this point, I have to call it some false hope. Well, that's what the devil gives, right? So that makes sense that it's in the center of this message at this time. There's some false hope that there's still a possibility to cause heartbreak to some divine beings by way of the Queen of Wands. Okay, the Queen of Wands is the one. She's the one. This isn't a high vibrational Queen of Wands. So this devil energy is hosted by a couple. They're chained to each other, and they're chained to this entity, or chained to whatever this obsession, possession, literally possessed at this point by their own greed and diabolical determination. That's what we got going on here. That there is literally a dark possession of energy where they're not even operating in the function of their innate humanity at this time. They're ultimately allowing demonic force to take precedence. And so this Queen of Wands sitting under this devil energy is giving me that she's the one leading the charge for, you know, to keep this agreement going, you know, and to keep this masculine energy attached to it, stuck in it, bound by it. How? Here's heartbreak over here. Fear. Fear of losing himself altogether. There's something that she's holding over his head. Three of Swords and we got the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords, which is ultimately the 8. What's the 8 of Swords? Oh, jail. Eternal imprisonment is what I just heard. She blackmail. I'm sorry, I'm just spewing out stuff. This is a freaky day right now. It's just coming out as it is. She is holding something over his head that's what he feels chained to. And that's the possession that he's under, more or less. Really like this possession of pride and ego, because he's afraid to be exposed from this lover's energy, which would be high vibrational and, you know, divine love, true love type of situation, but really under the surface, like he's afraid to be embarrassed. Dude, you're afraid to be embarrassed? Are you afraid of eternal damnation? Because of, that's a little bit more, more potent than just your reputation at this point. Let me move these up. Yeah, because the Queen of Wands under the devil energy, that's hell on wheels right there. That's first of all, the Queen of Wands is already someone that don't mind getting a little mystical and magical. And with fiery energy, there's that passion there that, you know, can always teeter-totter on the air on the side of fury in the highest vibration, okay? So for someone that's intentionally operating by way of this devil energy, meaning she's 100% consumed and possessed by her rage and her overambition, and probably in more of a masculine energy than even her feminine energy, but also is, oh shoot, I just heard it. She's not afraid to use all of her assets for the sake of accomplishing some desirable outcome, some task, some ambition, acquiring some ambition. Meaning the Queen of Wands, who is sexy in the upright, simply put, it can be seductive in the lower vibration, and not in a good way. So meaning she will literally seduce you. It's like a Jezebel spirit, ultimately, is what these two are given right now. And so she uses every play in the devil's playbook to ultimately keep this masculine energy, or whomever. It's not even limited to the masculine is what I'm hearing. It's like whomever gets connected with her, they find it hard to be untangled. You know, it becomes an entanglement in some way, shape, or form. Even the best of people, the best of intentions, the best of vibrations either become victim to her antics by way of some heartbreak, or, you know, it's like she's just toxic. So everything that she touches, oh, that's why it's under the Empress card. God damn. The Empress is like eternally fertile. You know, she's extremely creative. So it's like the Devil card. She has completely surrendered her being to the control of demonic force and of a feminine nature at that. That is wild that I'm seeing it this way. So she, like I said, she's just completely given up her vessel to the dark side, ultimately, to put it mildly. And that means that she will spare no expense even unto her own vessel, her own physical being, her sexuality, her literal body, her energy, her creativity, everything that she has. It's like she's a living sacrifice for Satan. Are we serious right now, Spirit? Like, I came on here like, let me do a quick reading before I finish, you know, go about my day. And this is where we at? Like, so, ooh, all right, so what? So anybody that's connected to this is in dangerous territory, because you're either going to be a victim of it or guilty by association. And that's how she likes it to be, as a matter of fact. That's her whirlwind of wickedness, that she's unassuming, she's attractive, doubly attractive. She clearly has some type of power, creativity, and allure, prowess, you know, very creative and tactical in her methods of seduction. Like, she'll express herself as anything, even as a love vibration, knowing that she literally, look, it's the Seven of Swords. She's just collecting souls ultimately on account of the dark side, and this masculine energy, who I'm seeing very distinctly on the outside now, is caught up in this web. See how it's almost becoming like a web? He's caught up in this web because he refuses, or he's resistant to detaching. Can he detach at this point? I don't even know. Or is he too deep in? Because see how he's kind of buried these two energies here with the and the Devil card, the feminine energy. It's like like I said, he's almost buried in her bullshit, because that's what happens when people get it's literally like a spider web, like a what is that? What do you call that? The female spider. Damn, what's the name of that spider? You know, the like femme fatale expression of a spider. Why can't I hear it? Oh, it's gonna come to me, don't you worry. The one that's like, damn, this is pissing me off. All right, let's see. Anyway, I know you know what I mean if you're listening. It's still bothering me though. All right, let's see. What else should we know? Do we even care to know about this situation here? Because it's like he's still it's like he's still caught up in this agreement, or is he? Or he's, oh, I'm seeing, is this true? That he's thinking that he's outsmarting, or he's at least come up with some plan. So he has been in pretty deep, but there's something that he's trying to, a plan he's trying to execute to release himself from these grips here. Is it what the freak is the name of that spider? It's not a weeping willow. That's a tree. It's a, no, it's not a spider. It's like the feminine energy that, like all her husbands end up. I think it is a spider too, though. This is killing me because it's so common. It's like not even that mystical, but it's the feminine energy where every husband she gets ends up dying or coming down with some grave disease or something like that. Like, that's the energy here. The female Chariot card, the Femi. Oh man, I'm so mad. I can't think of this. Please, Spirit, give it to me before I stop this video, because it's gonna bother me once I turn it off and then realize exactly what it is. That Fool card in the struggle position. Yeah, so he's trying to move forward, right? But see how this new beginning is struggling sideways. I'm gonna put it upright, but you see how it came up. It's like he's trying to get this plan off the ground to move ahead for some victory and success. But I think the problem is, like, yeah, he's trying to see, now he wants to choose his higher self, because he sees that being caught up with this character, it's like all the blinders are off, you know, and being caught up with this feminine is leading to nothing but trouble ultimately. So he's trying to forge this new beginning ahead and like trying to embody every sense of faith in his physical being. But the problem is that he's already been too, like his hands are already too dirty in the things that he's allowed himself to participate in. I'm hearing known and unknown. So there are some things that I can't even say unknown. There's some things that maybe he pretended not to know, or he was less bothered by because they were satisfying with the Nine of Cups energy, you know? So it's like he tried to kind of play two sides in a sense. That's why he's on two sides of here. Because there was one part of him that's like, you know, almost presenting himself to be innocent. I'm just here for a good time. You know, I'm here for the ride. You know, party up, drinks up, you know, whatever the case may be. He's here for the fun of it all. But then there was it's like a light and a dark side to him, and she appealed to his dark side for sure, because it allowed him to be engaged just enough to be implicated in whatever this diabolical web of sorts ultimately has become. So it's like his hands are too dirty to completely walk away with some altogether new beginning. I don't know. Even though the Chariot card is here, I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's because of the intention. But it's like he's still trying to get away. But even his intentions, or the way he's trying to get away, is still diabolical. You know, or still like shady or underhanded. Maybe he feels like he has to do this shady underhanded thing to get away from this, to pretty much break those chains. But the only way that he's ultimately going to truly have a new beginning is if he does it in an upright position. Like, and it may cause for some heartbreak, maybe some loss, maybe some exposure that he's trying to avoid. Maybe, you know, loss is the biggest thing, but I also was talking about his appearance, like his persona. And I think that's what he's really trying to like, yeah, because this is giving me appearances and projections, and, you know, he wants to still look like an upright dude and not look like he wants to somehow present himself as if he just got roped into this and had no idea what was going on. But it's virtually impossible to get away unscathed in this because he's too deeply implicated for that to be true. So it's like that's the tug of war still in his spirit of him still trying to act, you know, basically protect his ego and pride by still sacrificing more or less time and energy, you know, because the more that he devotes to this plan and plot of trying to concoct and construe some, you know, masterminded plan, you know, masterminded way out, is more time that's being wasted when he could just walk away and just let the tower fall as it may and let the chips fall as they may at this point. So it's like he's kind of really keeping himself bound and stuck at this point. King of Cups. King of Cups under the Queen of Wands. What's that about? Let me see. And the Ace of Pentacles? Hold on now, hold on. Let me get one more, because now I'm starting to rethink something here. Give me a second. What's this? What are these two about? I need one more card on this board. That was almost the Six of Pentacles, but it went back in. The King of Cups. I just need one more because I need to clarify. This don't make sense to me. Come on. Another hidden message today. My shuffling ain't that damn bad now. All right, the Strength card. Hold up, hold up, hold up. All right, give me a second because I need to really get into this now. The King of Cups. Coming out of this full position, it's like, okay, but they're facing two different ways, and it was a struggle. So he's struggling to operate in love. Because now I'm re-questioning this, the Empress and the Queen of Wands. Is this the same person? Oh. So remember, originally I said the Empress was the topic of discussion. What did I say? The center of attention. And this is the love vibration, like, that she was, ultimately this was probably a love spell that she used to clinch him into all this BS. The Empress, and she wants to be the Empress is what it comes down to. And she knows that, oh my God, this is interesting. She knows that she can't be the Empress. Like, she's limited. The ceiling is the devil for her. The Empress is high vitality, you know, and no matter how much you sacrifice yourself to the so-called dark side, that's the only ceiling that you'll truly be able to ascend to. She knows that if she ain't know it before, she damn sure know it now, because she can recognize that there's a higher power by way of love, benevolence, grace. There's a glory in that essence that she can't seem to reach. And so she's been idealizing these divine unions by way of whom she already has snagged. This person is someone that has an anointing as a King of Cups, and deep down in his soul, which is why she ultimately, you know, with the Nine of Cups, she was able to really finesse him by presenting herself to be a loving vibration, almost like the Queen of Cups, which this energy kind of came up yesterday. But here is the King of Cups today. That did not come up yesterday. So what she's trying to do is, she knows that she can't harvest his power that she ultimately has diminished by her diabolical, you know, destruction. Ultimately, she realizes that she played herself pretty much, because she diminished the very, like, he was the plug, you know, but because she overworked her power, did too much, as a Queen of Wands in the devil energy would do. She overexerted her force and her power to the point where now she's kind of almost, that's why he's struggling to do anything. You know, the full energy is somebody that can ultimately maybe not create new experiences, but definitely has great potential to embark on a new adventure or start a new project. But because he's been so suppressed energetically, it's taken a great deal away from his natural divine essence, which he ultimately gave away. Let's not let that be lost. But she definitely has some great impact by way of the manipulation that she imposed, and it defeated both of them. You know, like, it has put them both in a struggle position to move forward in any victory, because the source of that divine force is now tainted. You know, it's diluted at best, but certainly, like, where he was the King of Cups in some regard, probably with high vibrational gifts and opportunities that were flowing in, it's becoming a struggle. You know, the Five of Swords over the Strength card, it's becoming like a tug of war. It has become a tug of war to really operate in any victorious position of power. Like, they're having to use all their strength for the purposes of just keeping their heads above water at this time, when it could be used toward manifesting beyond what's just enough. So it's like, what are you trying to do? It's like she's trying to, like, reverse the curse is what I hear. That's weird. But it's all centric to the devil energy now. It's like diabolical though, remember? So she's only trying to reverse it, literally, look at this, like restore, like somehow trying to restore his natural state of being. I don't even know how she thinks that that's possible, but she's trying to restore his natural state of being so that he can be a whole, or she can help at least support him being a whole gift of the universe again, someone that is a match in the King of Cups with hella love, vitality, and vibration, can be an attractive force for these grand opportunities, is what she ultimately wants to get her hands on. But I don't know why she thinks that's possible, or why she thinks she can do that. it's on account of, I guess, whatever she is in submission to by way of this dark entity, or whatever sacrifice that what sacrifice has she made? Her own body. But how? How would that even, if you're going to sacrifice yourself, because this, what I'm getting is this is even like her. This is the sacrifice right here, believe it or not, in the Strength card. Almost, well, oh, okay, maybe what I said in the beginning is the whole of it. But I'm going to get another card, another few rows, which is why I'm moving these up. Because she has completely lent her being to this darkness, damn, she might be taking all types of dudes down, is what I just heard. Like, over the King of Cups. To me, this isn't just representative of, damn, how is she doing it though? Maybe there's been some way that she's been able to be restored so that she still presents some allure to those that are unsuspecting. Like I said, it's that Black Widow. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Black Widow. She taking hella dudes down. And they're just falling into her trap somehow, some way, by way of her presenting herself to be, oh, what the frick is she doing? Hold on. Black Widow, which is a spider, thank you. But I mean, there's definitely the like I said, the Queen of Wands in a lower vibration such as this, my God, definitely is alluring and seductive. So there's the carnal lure of her just being, you know, a damn Jezebel and luring people into her trap, but it has to be something more than that. It has to be something more than that in order for her to be so effective at this time, or maybe she has been and isn't. I don't know. I'm getting the sense that this is still like, this is like a more recent agreement, you know, contract commitment that she's aligned herself with. I don't get the sense that it's going to be altogether productive, because we still have the Five of Swords here, which means it's already been defeated, at least in the way that she intends for it to be successful. But she's still putting a hell of a lot of energy behind it anyway, which means that she has some faith. It can't just be completely delusional and insanity at this point. There has to be some reason, based on what she's offering to sacrifice, that she's still receiving some results, or feels confident that she will. So anyway, she's ultimately signed up to maybe perhaps save this one character for her own intents and purposes, mind you, by sacrificing many in the way of the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is like, it's the most loving masculine energy of all the kings. So that's why I'm really like, why is he even that glamored by a Queen of Wands? He's more intrigued by love and compassion and a feminine in her soft. Well, okay, that's what she's presenting herself to be. Someone that's in her soft femininity and that is willing to be reciprocal, when all the while her on the outside or on the inside, whatever the case may be, is really this Queen of Wands. So this is her presentation, which is what's ultimately catching people up in this web, thinking that they're moving forward, and what it ultimately leads to is heartbreak, not a forward movement, which is why the Fool was on its side. And the King of Cups is looking at this Ace of Pentacles. There's something material, though, that she is presenting. There's something that she's presenting as some material reward, though. It's not just love. There has to be some added incentive or value here as to how she's entrapping the men, whether she's presented herself to be wealthy. I keep seeing like this pentacle being like baby energy, like a gift of the universe, as you know, children are. Oh my gosh. But how is she doing that? Is she running is she running paternity scams? Meaning, like, and this is so age old, but people, you know, back in the day, I know feminines that used to do this, that will get with a dude, get them in her clutches, end up, you know, having unprotected intimacy and projecting themselves to be pregnant, you know, like they're with child, but ultimately they're either not, and either siphon some support or even energy. It could even just be by way of the energy of the love vibration for someone to be invested in you carrying their child, but you're not, or that you actually were. And what I'm seeing is, which I hate to say, is that the sacrifice is to this beast, that she may actually be terminating pregnancies, actually getting pregnant and terminating. Oh my gosh. That's the sacrifice of her body. I just got chills. And I said she's eternally fertile. Oh my gosh. So she's literally like, and she may be presenting it to them as if that's why the Fool was like turned over, like she lost the baby. But in actuality, she's getting pregnant intentionally, sharing that news with them, but then presenting it as either a loss, or it might be just as reckless as like maybe straight up telling them like, I got an abortion, you know, like straight up telling them that, but not telling them before she was going to do it, telling them after it was already done. And that's what's been feeding this beast. Her literally using her body, like I said, as a living sacrifice to Satan by way of, this is the wildest thing I've ever picked up. Let me take no wonder it was taking so long to get some cards. That's why I was like, this energy doesn't make sense. Where is the king, a loving king coming from? So she's choosing the most compassionate men she can find, because she knows that they're ultimately going to feed into her, that damsel in distress vibration, you know, of wanted to take care, wanted to nurture, and she's presented herself to be that too. And this almost looks like the moon, which is like, you know, feminine, motherly, Cancer vibes. It's not, but that's the point, that it's not, because she's not really motherly, or she may be a Cancer, who knows, but she's not really motherly or nurturing or any of that. This is for the sake of feeding some insatiable beast. That's why I said it's like, it's not going to work, because there's only but so many times you can go around this rodeo before you ultimately deplete your own vitality. Like, you can't keep doing that to your body. Eventually, first of all, you're going to stop being able to conceive. And I don't know, like, you're literally just going to hurt yourself. The only other possible way is if, now this is more practical, right? But I said what I said, okay? And I saw what I saw, so you take it as it resonates. But the only other practical way is that she's trying to siphon this, like I said, trying to ultimately make this man whole again, but not really, like I said, because it's not benevolent at all. But she's trying to like lure him back into a loving nature by presenting herself to be pregnant, or maybe she actually is pregnant. But her plan, which is even worse, is to clinch him back into, maybe she knows about his intentions to try to ride out, and she's just been keeping him stuck. And this is her big shebang, that if she can get pregnant or is pregnant, that she can at least keep him on the hook by way of him feeling almost like compassionate toward the seed that she's carrying, or that she plans to do exactly what I said, but to him, that she plans to kind of lure him in. Maybe that's her ultimate sacrifice. Oh my gosh, but how would that really help her get to Empress status? Because of the nature of the seed that she would carry, him having the organic essence of a King of Cups would still be an exalted seed by way of the Ace of Pentacles. So if she can embody it, literally conceive it, and, you know, it take root in her being, I don't know what her plan is, honestly. I don't know if it's a matter of her, like I said, wanting to kill the seed before it comes to term, or use it as a way to keep him on the hook, to kind of keep him stuck. Like, that's her new, because whatever spell she was using it's been stopped and blocked. It doesn't work. It doesn't have the same effect anymore with this Five of Swords. So she found some new way, and it's by way of either literally harvesting a child. So I don't know what she plans to do with it, but it's not good ultimately. Whatever her intentions are is for the sake of feeding this beast, whether it be to keep him on the hook, and she thinks that maybe his child is what will elevate her to Empress status by way of it being a sacrifice to this demonic energy. Maybe up until now she hasn't been able to conceive, and she thinks that having a baby is what's going to elevate her to that status, which you don't even have to have children to be the Empress. You don't have to even be able to conceive, and get this, you don't even really have to be a man if you are a masculine that's just operating in your feminine energy. I'm sorry, a woman, pardon me. That's if you're just a man that operates more distinctly in your feminine energy. So that's why I'm saying it's like, it's dead on arrival, literally. So I don't know if she's trying to bring life to this, it feels like she's trying to bring this child into the world, because that's what she feels will solidify her Empress status. But ultimately the point is, even once it's here, unfortunately, there's something either that's been marked on this child that is going to have some element of suffering or limitation, or you know, instability, or, you know, it could be sick if it is born full term. And it's by the intention. This is her, not me speaking this against the child, because of course I pray it not to be so by God's will. But this is her intention, that even if it does become full term, maybe, peep this, it's such a burden that he almost feels obligated to help her with this, you know, with this responsibility, and not leave her by herself, because she would be pulling on his compassionate heart deep down at the core, of what she has buried underneath all of this darkness, that she's hoping that there is still something there that she can prey on to keep him clenched in, because she can't really, unbeknownst to him in some way, shape, or form, she's more activated by his presence and his, you know, his asset. He has the love vibration, even in his, literally, even with the 9 of Cups. She might have the ambition and the power and even the force, but she doesn't have the source. So if she can connect herself literally, as a Jezebel spirit does, as a incubus spirit would, if she can connect herself to the force by way of reproduction, or, you know, where the sex, it didn't stop there, because obviously he's been able to break free from that. This is like that next level in the game, where not only does she think it's going to elevate her status and solidify her power in this dark energy, but it'll also feed the beast by way of the sacrifice, with him now being, like I said, he's now all the way buried under her bullshit. Now you can't see neither one of them. Like, completely submerge him into the darkness with her, make him like feel stuck to be there. And whatever this child or this offspring may be, it's already been dedicated to the darkness by her intention already, whether he knows it or not. And, you know, worst case scenario, yeah, look, High Priestess and the Ace of Wands, whether he knows it or not, I don't know. Like, that would be the ultimate, you know, shocker, is if he's with it, like he's in on it, or maybe he's trying, oh, maybe there's some aspect of him that's trying to that's it. Okay, thank you, Spirit. There's something that there's some information that he's privy to by way of her diabolical intentions, even for this child. He's presented himself to be down with the program so that he can kind of keep things peaceful and calm. And that's what I meant by, it's like there's some part of him that he's still sacrificing, and it's mentally so, because he's still acting like he's a part of this plan, but in actuality he plans to escape, either leaving her with the bag with the baby to take care of by herself, or just making her believe that he's in agreement, 2 of Cups, with this plot to stall enough time or create enough of a facade until he can ultimately make his great escape by way of the Fool card. But that's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way, because it's still you, even as the masculine, being knowledgeable of this intention and not acting against it in your highest good, and I mean in your highest frequency, is just as bad as you actually being down with it and sawing the baby in half yourself. You know, like, sorry for the trigger, but it might as well be the same thing. Yeah, look, 2 of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Like, his ambitions are way off, and he thinks that she doesn't see, but she does. Sun card here, and I'm not going to take this, but still him. She's too advanced in the dark arts for him to be thinking that he's going to pull some wool over her eyes with her own game, like trying to fight fire with fire. You going to have to fight fire with water by way of the King of Cups that you're supposed to be. Love for yourself. Forget what's lost, forget what's to be gained, forget saving face, forget honestly, sir, whomever you are, you might want to just get up and go. Leave everything that, like I said, with a vibration such as this, as the Black Widow, everything that is connected to her, every house, every car, every article of clothing, every person, every utensil, every book she's ever touched, like literally everything that this person's energy has ever come in contact with, including you are the living proof, is tainted or even cursed. You know, tainted is a mild expression. It's cursed. So you need to get the hell up out of there. Go wash yourself in the Jordan River 7 times, literally, and pray for redemption just by way of association. Like, seriously, this is... Anybody that has a mind, like I heard what I heard on that, and maybe the reason why I heard it as multiple people is because maybe she's done this multiple times. Maybe this is her big one, you know, this is the big sacrifice, but she's played out this plan many times, you know, maybe 9 times with those 9 cups up there. He's just maybe her biggest lick to date, you know. And the times are different now, so it's been a greater level of difficulty to really pull this one off because, you know, the energy in the universe has elevated, which has probably inflated her pride and ego, where she may have fallen short by way of the love spell she's usually gets away with and is successful with. That's been impaled, you know, by universal order, and so it's only incited her more rage to do something bigger and better and harder and more fury and more fire. Sorry, yeah, look at this child, look, and it's the Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. This is karma, her inflating her energy. Hold on, let me take another one. I want to see, let me get one more on this before I say. Almost the Hangman, which is definitely about, in this case, it would be about sacrifice and somebody being stuck in a position. Not going to take that, but let's see what it is. Yeah, justice will prevail. It's no way that this shit is going down. And that's the thing, it's like, and the justice is the Wheel of Fortune, which is karma at this point. It's and evolution, like I was saying, that's what that was as well. Like how things have evolved universally. It's just the vibes are not vibing with those type of intentions anymore, not in the way that they've been. So it's like, instead of her recognizing that and seeing, you know, the handwriting on the wall, because she operates on this dark side, it just incites her to just do more, like to just go harder and go bigger. You know, it's no chill for a person such as this, because she's had too much evidence that it's worked before. She's broken way too many hearts. You know, she probably stolen some good men from some divine women, broken up some unions. That's what this is giving me now that I'm looking at it, ripped away some otherwise loving, compassionate creatures that were on their way to some great promise or had some great potential. And she sacrificed them over and over again by way of what she does best, which is use her body, you know, to lure them in and ultimately burn them. Literally, probably burning men all over the globe with the Queen of Wands and the Devil energy. I mean, literally, if I unveil that card, there's literal fire there. Okay, let's see. What is this here? Who is the Emperor? Is that who she is indebted to? Now I'm confused again a little bit. Now, when I was confused here, it was because of she wants to be the Emperor. That's her big, oh, duh. This is what I said, that she's looking to elevate. I'm hearing, let me upgrade you, Beyonce. She wants to upgrade him because she knows that he's her key to upgrading. So this is her, again, like she's almost trying to force an evolution into this Queen of Cups vibration to match his King of Cups, so that she can ultimately, as I said, upgrade his vitality again, as if she has any power really to do that. You've already done too much damage. Like, you've done way too much damage to his soul at this point. Anything that's going to happen now has to be on account of what he is willing to surrender to and ultimately to submit to. And it is going to be a surrender, because he has to answer for the energy that he's connected to. And that's, if he can get past that, then there's still hope. Literally get over his ego. There's hope for him to be redeemed, because he already has a divine ordinance. That's been established for sure. She knows it. I guess he knows it, even though he wasn't operating in it. He has the potential to be an emperor, a boss, a figurehead, you know, the most powerful energy in the deck. But by way of this Wheel of Fortune, this karma, if he's still allowing her to play any part in his life, there's no way he's ever going to get to that place. So for him and his plot and plan, if he's still attaching himself to any salvaging of it all, or even connection, I mean, at this point, even if he has a child with her, which energy like this, I would say definitely there's a paternity test called to order, because you never know what type of scheme and scam she might be running. But even if there is a child involved, it really would be a sad situation, because for him to be attached to this as a response, that could be the attachment, that because she's clenched herself to him you know, as baby mama, which the Queen of Cups can often be, she will be able to siphon that energy in some regard. It still won't work to the vibration that she's looking for it to do so, though. But if in any event, it'll just attach them both to this karmic cycle that they're going to have to play out for the next 7, 10, say 18 years or so, you know, God forbid, unless she tries to terminate it before that, you know, whether the kid makes it or not. But there's something that she's clenching to that she believes is going to work. And maybe it already is working in some regard, because as it seems to be, he still hasn't made his exit. And as long as he's there, is more opportunity. It's like literally the time ticking. There's more opportunity for him to be stuck in one way, shape, or form, whether it's by just mentally and psychologically, emotionally going deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole, or actually physically. With Pentacles, that's physical manifestation of something. And I feel like it's a child. I feel like it is, if it hasn't been one already. And, you know, it has been proven that it's his or not, whatever. There's some way she feels she can still hold him and still reap the benefits off of his organic value. Even though it might not be exemplary in this moment, there's still that potential there deep down in the surface, that someone that's in such a delusional, diabolical state as this feels like they not only have access to, but they have, what do you call it? Like they have entitlement to. So she'll milk him for all he's worth, say in child support, you know, or spousal support, or just energetically draining him dry for the rest of his life. Hella drama, you know what I mean? Like I said, she could be blackmailing him, so holding his stability and security in the palm of her hands, literally here, literally holding his stability in the palm of her hands is what she could be doing, and holding it over his head, You know, there's so many ways, but like I said, the Black Widow is not limited to death. That would be, you know, a graceful ending at this point for what this guy is either going through or about to be going through if he don't get the hell up out of there. And it's crazy because it's like the Emperor is all the potential of power in the world, but when you lend your force and unite it or invest it with some diabolical force, it's depleted to damn near nothing. You know, it doesn't even, it's like null and void. He could still be an emperor just as he was the Nine of Cups and the King of Cups and still be depleted, you know, and defeated by way of the Five of Swords to a mere shell of a man, just by way of who he refuses to release. God, I'm just trying to see what else is, because this Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Cups, like these should be such high vibrations here in the upright. The Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Cups, who's the loving queen, and the Emperor, but I don't feel nothing good here. So what is that saying? What is she projecting? That she's changed? That's what she's projected. That she's evolved. That's what she's projecting, that this baby is changing her. That she is now, if they're not in on it together now, but even if they are, it's still her projecting that because of this life that's growing inside of her, she's feeling a new vitality. She's feeling, he might even be getting excited that maybe she is coming into some new powerful force that will help the both of them. And that's how she done wrapped them up into that web again. So it's like either way, it's so poisonous. This cup is so poisonous that she's holding. Anybody that takes a sip is gone, done for. Like, it would take a miracle. And ain't nothing God here except for the potential of the Ace of Pentacles. And that's the expression of what he would be in his highest vibration, what he is entitled to, except he's allowing his energy to be ruled by his pride and ego, and it to be puppeted more or less by this feminine force. So it's like, even if he's not with it, but he's still attached to it and still biting, you know, biting the bait or drinking the Kool-Aid, literally in this case, he's still being finessed by thinking that she actually has some potential to change, because he's like, she making him feel like because of the value of his seed, like his premium seed is what ultimately has transformed her from the inside out. And now she's a changed woman. She can be that empress that he's been so desirous of, or that would ultimately bring him this potential of, you know, unlimited prosperity, because now her vitality has changed to be one that instead of them having to look elsewhere, or him having to look elsewhere outside of himself for this force, now she embodies it. But she doesn't. There's no way in hell she embodies it. And then if he is in on this darkness with her, like very much so engaged in it, then he might actually believe that his seed is that exalted. That's why he's sitting in the emperor status, but really is the Nine of Cups, delusional in that great disparity, that he might actually believe that his seed is so powerful that it actually did change her. Now, it does have the power to change and transform for sure, but only in regards to those that want to be transformed, that are in agreement and in alignment truly with the vibration and frequency of that seed at its highest. First of all, he's not operating at his highest at this time, so that's already null and void. But even if he was, she has no intentions of being anything different than what she's already proven herself to be. She has not evolved at all. It's just an avoidance of negative karma that she keeps, you know, ultimately tacticalizing to, as I said, continue to make herself the living sacrifice so that she feeds that beast and avoids the, you know, the karmic blowback by continuing to feed the beast other organisms, other entities, other hosts. And he's just ultimately allowing himself to be the premium host for her altar at this time. That's crazy. That's crazy. We got the Six of Swords. What was that? Yep, the Ten of this is what is idealized to move ahead. But it's just not it. It's like they're both having this idea for this Ten of Pentacles. In the end, it still comes down to prosperity and wealth and material gain. That's what it always was, you know, and that's what it always comes down to. And until that is purified, hold on. This is, yeah. And this is him once again feeling like he still has this chance to escape. Like he still has an entitlement to this Ten of Pentacles because he knows his come from. He's clear on that if he wasn't before, he is now. But he's still not in the highest vibration. Like this is still lustful, this Knight of Wands. It's not, this would be spiritual support and guidance toward this Ten of Pentacles. But what's here really at the top of the deck, although it appears to be the bottom, is that he's still lustful, overambitious, compulsive, impulsive, and completely immature in his action taking. Like his actions, is not even him showing up at the core of himself as a king, as he has the projection to be. He's still in a Knight energy, overambitious about reclaiming this abundance or inheritance or generational wealth that he ultimately forfeited on account of connecting with this feminine in the first place. She knows that he has the possibility. She knows that he has has an entitlement to this, and that's why she's trying to reverse, you know, all the charges to try to get him in a position to actually acquire it, put him in the mind frame to go after it again. But like I said, even with her best efforts, this Knight of Wands is not fitting to capture this Ten of Pentacles. It's a complete mismatch. It's in the wrong vibration. The motives are all wrong. The intention is misaligned. He's not a match for this divine inheritance at this point. If he had been willing to cross over, or if he is willing to cross over from this chaos and confusion into more peaceful and calmer waters, regardless of all that he may be leaving behind, to be able to take, again, that leap of faith, that risk and fortitude and a spiritual fortitude, then yeah, he could reconnect with it in a distant future. Though there's still some cleaning up he has some healing to do. He has some healing to do, and this energy is not willing to wait for his healing to commence. She's definitely, she's trying to be a quick fix for a quick return and result. So she probably hyping him up in this regard to feel like, yeah, you got it, go do it, you can do it, you know, like pushing him out there, you know, with armor that probably don't even fit, that he ain't even grown into yet, to go conquer this Ten of Pentacles, when he really just needs to be surrendering to his healing, surrendering to wherever the spirit is wanting to guide him away from this chaos, leaving everything that he, like I said, remember I said, like, just leave everything and go. Don't take anything. Don't take a sock, a shoe. When you get where you're going, buy some new clothes. Like I said, cleanse yourself and start completely fresh. That's this energy here. But as it stands, he's not really willing to do that. In order for him to be able to do that, he will need to completely break away from this influence here that's only going to keep him low in the soul and delusional with illusions in the physical. Like, she gonna keep painting these illusions to keep him delusional about the true nature of his presence. But she's not going to support him at his true highest, because number one, that would be a threat to her loss and completely missing out on this possibility of 10 of Pentacles or the Ace or whatever that she thinks she can scoop up at this point. Because once he really gets the full knowledge of himself truly, he will know that it's time to go. And he'll know to leave everything behind him, including her. So she's never going to contribute to him at his highest. It's always going to be this dark matter that's in operation. You know, like I said, presenting herself to be something changed and different and transformed, and amplifying his pride and his ego. Like she's like literally petting this lion here, like coaxing his ego, inflating it, as a matter of fact, for her own intents and purposes, her own self-gratification, her own bottom line. But it's not like, it's femme fatale of the worst kind. Of the worst kind. I don't even know what the hope of this situation may be, because it's not looking good for bruh. Like, no lie. Like, if he's not willing to completely detach, this is like eternal damnation at its worst. That's what this is looking like to me. Eternal heartbreak, not being able to eventually, like, spinning out. What do they say? Crashing out, the kids say. Eventually crashing out. And then what does he become even in that regard? But yet, what? Another sacrifice. So at the best of him and the worst of him, as long as she has her claws attached, he's her sacrifice. The only hope in this regard is for him to literally free himself, to overturn whatever is keeping him bound in that struggle position. Should I go? Should I not go? How do I leave? What do I take? What can I save? You know, what am I going to have when I go? Like, sir, it's time to go. If it's never been time before, it's absolutely time now. And I can't promise what you're going to meet, what your fate may be when you leave, because the Fool card is definitely sitting over top of this Wheel of Fortune, which is karma. You reap what you sow, so there is going to be some reckoning for the reaping. But it won't be worse than continuing to sow into this garden of, this grotesque garden is what it is. It's nothing but weeds and dead roots and sludge, dried up rivers and streams, empty wells. The land is scorched. You couldn't plant anything here if you tried, okay? Like, every element in this environment is depleted at this point. It seems that the masculine is the only one with a glimmer of hope for vitality, if he will allow himself to see himself as such. So I'm done. I can't do it anymore, and I got to go anyway. So Lord, I want to pray, but honestly, it's like my tongue is caught. I can only pray for divine will to be done at this point, because it's like God gives us the will and the strength to really help ourselves. And if you're going to keep smacking down the hand of God over and over again, like, why should anyone intercede in prayer for that resistance? You at this point, you're proving to the spirit that this is where you want to be. You want to be stuck. You choose the darkness. So why waste a prayer in the light for someone that really actually could and would and wants to be redeemed, be delivered, be saved, be secured? For someone that is willingly offering themselves as a sacrifice. That's what's happening here. It's like, it's almost a waste of energy. All I can say is divine will be done at this point. I'm not even going to waste any more breath on it, you know, and hopefully if this resonates with you, I pray that a hedge of protection and discernment truly for your decision making, to know exactly who you're connecting with, who's coming across as some knight in shining armor, who may be presenting themselves to be some source of vitality and security even in your life presently. You know, this could be a present danger or a future projection, you know, but just being very discerning about who you're investing your energy into and with, who you're connecting with, who you're making agreements with. This is in love and business, in every way, shape, and form. Like I said, this Black Widow energy, it doesn't just as the Empress could also be a masculine, a Black Widow could also be a masculine as well. It doesn't, yes, in nature it's a feminine spider, but someone that can carry this charge. And by God, if you're dealing with someone that's willingly lending themselves into the arms of such, they carry that signature as well. It's like a Jezebel spirit. It's an incubus that infects spiritual dis-ease. That's what it does. So that means anyone that has willingly been submitting themselves to this infected environment is ultimately unwell. And so if they're bringing that signature to you, what is that going to do but just continue to infect and pass that dis-ease and unrest along? And hopefully, you know, you would be protected from it by way of your discernment. But God forbid you let your guard down for a second. That could be your ultimate demise, even in the best of intentions. So just be careful out here, man. The plots are new levels, new devils, and the plots are getting fancier and trickier. But so are you. You know, you're more elevated, more ascended, and have transcended a lot of the plots and plans that you've seen before. I think it's not so much that the plot has changed, but that the audacity has elevated to a new high. You know, like I said, even with this feminine energy, it's like she's so assured in her success rate, you know, that she's willing to go the distance. The audacity, the ambition is probably more or less the same tactics in one regard or another, but the pride and ego has the pride in a positive sense has completely dissipated. So she will go to any lengths, and therefore he may also, if infected, go to any lengths to exert his or her force. So imagine yourself being unsuspecting and vulnerable to that type of intention and motivation. You know, I pray protection by way of righteousness is refuge is what I say. So if you are focusing on you and truly operating in the Empress or Emperor energy, someone that is in control of your existence and discerning of who's coming and going, of your resources, of your time, that reverences your vitality, that takes care of it, that is not swayed to sacrifice it or surrender it to any external force for any particular reason other than for the sake of it being something vital and ascending and value added, you know, truly proven itself to be, not the presentation, but proven, shown and proved, then that is your protection. You surrendering to the supreme source and force that you know governs your experience is the vitality, is the refuge. Don't get caught up in pride and ego, trying to prove anything to yourself or to anyone else, intimately or generally, universally. If it don't feel right, that's where the buck stops. If it don't make sense, it probably isn't truth. You know, if it's not looking like, you know, what it's proclaiming itself to be, you know, if it's not walking like the duck that it says it is, talking like the duck that it says that it is, 9 times out of 10, it's a motherfucking pigeon. No disrespect to the pigeons, but I mean, come on. You ain't taking no pigeon in to be no pet. That's for sure. You might go feed the ducks in the park, and you might even throw a couple morsels of crackers or so out the window for a pigeon, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to leave their ass right where they are, outside, okay? And that's where any energy operating in this force field deserves to be, outside of yours. So, I'm done here. Blessings, peace, protection, power, prosperity, passion, and promotion to you. In spirit and in truth it is so. Till next time, peace.